Hello everyone, welcome back to my booktube. I'm a romance reader and I love all things to do with books, so if you like that sort of content, don't forget to subscribe and let's get into the video. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a cozy book shopping vlog. Now this is going to be my very first book shopping vlog on this channel and I'm so excited because as I'm filming this, I will be in Manchester and I will be going to the Trafford Centre to go and have a look what is in Waterstones. Hopefully I'm going to try and find the works as well and see if any more books are in there, but let me tell you, I'm so excited. I have not been book shopping properly in a very long time and I'm going to try and find some books that might take my fancy or just have a stroll around and see what there is, and hopefully try and find some of my most anticipated reads for this year, such as The Crash and Beg, Borrow or Steal, and maybe any other books that might have been recently released that take my fancy. But so if you want to come along with me, let's go. I'm so surprised in WHSmiths they've got this book because it's been out of stock everywhere for people that want it. Let's have a look at these books and see what we've got. Fiction. I'm sure I've seen that in the charity shop once. Nothing that is. Everybody seems to rave about this one. A Dolly Alderton one. This is the book that I seen in Tesco. And it sounds very interesting. Just by the title of it. Of course. WHSmiths bit. TikTok bit even. Oh, what's that one? Is that a new one? That's a small one from Lucy's School. No More Secrets. Look at that. Flop. Did that supposed to be... God, look at the size of that though. These are supposed to be really good. My favourite. My edition don't have that foil bit on it. And I don't know why. But this is my favourite book. I love it. Then also they've got a new cover of Ugly Love. They had it in Tesco as well. This is a new one. Till Death. Not heard of that one before. I think this one's new. Of course they're going to have a box with the Valentine's bits in WHSmiths. They like the ones in Aldi. You are one in a melon.
Just in case you're single, fuck off chocolate.
Big Toblerone, yeah.
What I will be buying for myself.
And a single rose. And then they've got these teddy bears as well, look. I always forget WHSmiths have got more books. Like at the back. Oh, Leave No Trace. Wonder what this one's about. I didn't know this was a thriller. I thought this was a romance book. Look at the flop, I love it. My favourite section is the fiction, which is still cramming thriller. I haven't seen any Freedom McFadden's in here yet though, which I'm actually got. Oh, I've got seen Elfie Silver though. They've got the Redeeming Six. That is actually, oh my god, that's really nice to feel. I want to know if these are actually any good. So many people love them, but it's just the thickness of it scares me. Also got this book in, which a lot of people have said about TikTok, and they said that they really like this book. Glad. Oh, I just love the smell of a new book. This is one of my favourite books. Absolutely love With This Kiss. So good. They've got Ali Hazelwood's new book. This is one I want to buy. Oh, it's all bent though. But we need to go to the works. That's where we need to buy them from. I'm sure I bought that one. Can't remember. I'm sure I have that one on my bookshelf already. Yeah, we know a lot of devils. Don't we? We know a lot of devils. Oh yeah. Oh my god. How to Kill Your Family. Or Murder in the Family. That's supposed to be really good as well. Still haven't read that story though. I've got that, but I haven't read it yet. That's the book that I'm currently listening to, and I'm nearly finished, but I find it a bit weird. I'm not the greatest fan of it yet, to be honest. It's a bit, yeah, not my favourite. These people talked about that before and said that was really good, and that one's supposed to be good as well. Here's my book haul, and let me tell you, I got quite a few, and I said I wasn't going to buy any book, and if I did, I was only going to buy a couple. However, we've come out with quite a lot, and as you can see, we've come out with something from Waterstones as well. I never normally buy from Waterstones because it's expensive, but I was like, well, let's just treat myself. These are the books that you can't find in the works, so kind of went a bit mental. So let me show you what I bought. So like I say, I went to Waterstones and I picked up a few books, which cost £40 because obviously they're full price books. So in here we have 3 books. I did end up buying 4 books from Waterstones, but one of them I actually bought for my mum because The Nightingale is very popular and people like that one, but it's set in the World War times and that's not my sort of thing, but I know my mum really likes that, so I was like, if I can find it, I'm going to buy it. I was hoping to find it in the works, but I couldn't, and I knew full well that I wouldn't be able to find it in the works when I wanted it. So I ended up seeing it in Waterstones. I was like, you know what, let's just buy it from Waterstones instead. So I bought that one from Mum. Then the ones I bought were some of my most anticipated reads for this year that were coming out. So I saw Chloe Liez's new book, which is Once Smitten and Twice Shy, which, if you know, then I absolutely love Two Wrongs Make a Right, and I've read both of the books now. I've read the first one and I've read Better Hate Than Never, which was obviously the second one, and this has only just been released, and this is the 3rd book. So this is actually this is Juliet's side of the story, and I wanted to see if it was any better. I'm hoping the last one is just as good as the first one, because obviously there's 3 sisters, and the first one was about B, the second one was about Kate, and then this one is obviously about Juliet, and I want to see how she ends up going about and what her story is going to be, whether it's better than the previous one, because like I say, I wasn't the biggest fan of that one, but I really loved the first one, so I'm hoping it's either an in-between or it's just as good as the first one. So yes, I bought that one. And then the next book I picked up was another one of my most anticipated reads, which was the Sarah Adams Beg, Borrow, Steal. I wasn't going to buy this book because it's part of a series, but with the sounds of it, you can read them separately. She says, I know full well I'm going to end up buying the other 2 books just to carry it on, but I was like, you know what, I can't. This was part of the buy one get one half price section, but I was like, there's no other books that I really want from this section, and I was like, well, I'm just going to have to pay for it. So I ended up picking the first one up, which I shouldn't have done because it's quite bent there. There's a bent in the back there as well, and it's slightly a bit damaged, but I'm like, you know what, it's going to get damaged when I read it anyway, so I'm not too fussed. The spine's going to get cracked, and somewhere along the line it's going to get bent, so I'm like, you know what, I'm not really bothered. So I went for it. I should have got it from Tesco when I saw it, or Asda, but I didn't. And I was like, well, it's here now, let's just treat myself and let's buy it. So yes, I got the Beg, Borrow or Steal by Sarah Adams. Then we also have this book, which I'm yet to open. This is a blind date one. Now, I have never ever seen a blind date in a shop, like a blind date book in a shop. And when I saw it, I was like, well, this is romance. And this is the only one that I thought, this is one that I would not have read. And I'm hoping it's not an Elsie Silver, because if it is, I'm going to be fuming. Because, especially if it's the one that I already have on my bookshelf, which is Reckless. So we'll have to see. But all the other ones were very familiar to me. So most of them was romance, obviously, because it's coming up to Valentine's Day. They did a romance bit. They did a dark romance one, and then they did a few other ones as well. And as I was reading the prompts on them, I was like, that sounds something like I've read before. And I was like, no. Then another one, I was like, no, I've read that one, probably read that one. But this one, because it was cowboy, the only cowboy ones I have read is Elsie Silver. And I've only ever read one of her books. So I'm hoping it's not one in the series. But if it is, it can be added to my collection, as long as it's not the ones that I already have in my collection. Because that would be really annoying. Or the one I've actually read, because I'll be like, So yeah, this one is a romance. There's romance suspense, police chief and main suspect, small town cowboy. And the spice rating is only 2 out of 5. So it's not that spicy, but I thought, well, it's a cowboy. And I know that I've not read a lot of cowboy romances, apart from Elsie Silver, which is the first one in the Chestnut Springs. So I'm hoping it's not the first one, because if it is, but I don't think it is, because obviously it's police chief and she's not a police chief. Yeah, we're going to see what it is. There is a receipt in here, which the woman did tell me on the receipt that if I look at the receipt, you will know what it is, because obviously they have to type in the number of the book to be able to scan it. So she was like, if you want to keep it a surprise, don't look at the receipt. And I was like, okay, and I haven't, so I don't have a clue what this one is until I open it, which I'm going to open it on my TikTok. So if you don't follow me on TikTok, it's itsvornyreads. So if you want to go check that out, don't forget to go and have a look on TikTok. So yeah, that's where I'm going to be opening this one. And then we have a few in here, which is from the works. So let me show you. So from the works, I actually picked up 5 books, and one of them was a Ali Hazelwood one. Now, if you do follow me on BookTok and you have followed me on here, then you'll know that Ali Hazelwood is one of my favourite authors. And of course, she has brought out a new book called Deep End, which is quite thick. This is I believe this is the thickest book she's actually ever brought out. So it's not like massively thick, but it is thicker than her previous ones. I don't know why it's bent. It's obviously got bent in the bag. And this is one of her biggest books. So this is called Deep End, and I'm excited to read it because, like I say, I love Ali Hazelwood. I have got one book on my shelf that I have not read, which is, well, not my shelf, my trolley, called Check and Mate. I've yet to read that, but I have read quite a few of her books and I absolutely love the way that she writes. So I was like, well, I need to get this one as well. The only one I haven't read by Ali Hazelwood is Bride, because of the fact that it's about a werewolf and stuff, which I'm not too fussed about. So I haven't read that one, but the other ones I will more likely pick up, because I really like the style of writing and I like how she writes her books anyway. So yeah, I went for an Ali Hazelwood book, and this was £6, like I say. Now, I have read 2 books by Sarah Adams, and I've really enjoyed the way that she writes. It's both of the books that I have read, not really spicy. They're kind of like a fluffy romance, but I really like the way that she writes her men and the way that she writes her stories. So I was like, well, I'm gonna have to pick up some more of Sarah Adams books. So these are all apparently revised and expanded editions, so I'm presuming she's released them before, but she's just edited them and expanded them. So these were all £3.50. Yeah, these were all £3.50. So we have the off limits rule, we have the match, and we also have the enemy as well, which I believe these 2 are part of a series. So if you know which one comes first, let me know, because I have no idea. But I believe you can read them separately anyway, so that's fine. But are these old books? Because of it being, if it says revised and expanded, I'm presuming they've been released before, but just edited and re-released again and just expanded to them. So I don't know. But I'm excited to read them because I like the way that she writes, and I like the way that she writes the men. So we have a few more Sarah Adams. So I'm trying to buy books that are from authors that I actually like, but they're not on Kindle Unlimited. So if they're not on Kindle Unlimited, I will buy the physical version instead, and I'll read them like that. But if they are on Kindle Unlimited and I do have the physical version, then I like to switch between the 2. So I know that Sarah Adams doesn't have any of her books on Kindle Unlimited. So yeah, I bought some more Sarah Adams books because, like I say, I just really like her style of writing. Then I saw this one, and this was the last book. I was like, right, that's enough books. This is the last one that you're going to pick up, she says. But this was by Victoria Walters. Not heard of this one before. It's called The Love Interest. It was part of the 3 for £6 deal, but I was like, there's no other books that I really want, so I'm just going to buy this one. So obviously it was only £2.50. But I've not heard about this one. I've not heard anybody talking about it, and when I read the inside of it to make sure that it wasn't in 3rd person, I was like, that sounds quite good. And obviously I read the back as well, And I thought, you know what, let's give it a try, see if it's any good. If it is on Kindle Unlimited, like I say, I'm just going to switch between the two. But yeah, I've not heard anything about this book, so I don't know what it's actually about properly or whether it's any good. I thought, you know what, it sounds good, so let's try it. So yeah, I picked this one up as well. And then, as of recently, First Time Caller by B.K. Borison has come out, which is again another one of my most anticipated reads as of this year. And they brought out a special edition in it in the works, and I thought, I'm just gonna go in, I'm gonna have a look, see if I can find it. I went into One Works today, but I couldn't find it. Then I went into another one because it's right next to Primark, and I saw it, and I was like, right, let me read the first page of it, because if it is in third person, I'm not gonna pick it up. But if it's not, I am going to pick it up, because obviously I wanted to read it and see what it was like, because it sounded good. So I bought it, and look how beautiful this edition is. Look at that cover. Oh my god. But the best thing is, look at that. How beautiful is that? Like, oh my god, it is actually beautiful. It's got pink at the top, which is really annoying because it doesn't have pink at the bottom. But I'm guessing that's the pink for the girl, and the yellowish is for the bun. So yes, we have this special edition as well. I'm hoping it's good because it's so pretty, and if it's not, I'm going to be fuming. But it's just, oh, and it's got a slight flop to it, which is so nice. And it just, the pages and everything just feel really, really nice. So if it is any good, I'm going to be keeping this, because look at how beautiful this book is. I love it. So yes, this is another one of my most anticipated reads. I am going to be doing a video where I read all of my most anticipated reads, but I feel like that's going to be towards the end of the year and not the beginning of the year, because obviously there's quite a few. So yeah, I picked up that one as well. Like I said, when I did my most anticipated reads video, I just wanted to see if it was in third person or not before I actually bought it. And obviously with it not being in third person, I was like, well, I'm going to give it a go. So yeah, and then I also got the special edition as well, which, well, the sprayed edge version, which is very, very pretty. And I'm telling you now, how on earth do they get all that on that book? All that on a page of books. Pages on a book. This is the first one that I actually have that's sprayed edge, to be fair. I don't have any books with a sprayed edge. But when I saw it on TikTok and somebody showing it, that they had bought it out, I was like, right, I need to go and get it. I need to go and get it, see what it's about, see if it's not in third person first, and if it's not, I'm going to pick it up. So I have that as well. So yeah, they are all the books that I actually bought for my book shopping trip. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.